2021 is coming to an end, but not before some more goodness from Fabrizio Romano, as Monday only means one thing. Fab joins the show to discuss Christian Eriksen and his future, Barcelona and the multiple pieces that they have to figure out in January, some American moves as well in Europe, perhaps this and much more as Fabrizio Romano joins Qué Golazo, which begins right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Qué Golazo, another beginning to the week. We hope that you are safe. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We're on Twitter, Qué Golazo Pod, youtube.com/Qué Golazo, CBS Sports, and your CBS Sports app. Fabrizio Romano, thank you so much for being here once again. How are you, buddy?
How are you, my friend? I'm great, thank you. Super happy to discuss with you. Transfer market is coming, so I'm super happy. I see January close, and it's going to be super interesting, I'm sure.
Super interesting. And don't forget, everybody, by the way, that even though we do our Monday usual dose of Fabrizio Romano, we'll have some holiday specials as well as we look ahead to a very busy 2022, Fabrizio. If we didn't think that you were busy in 2021, I'm imagining 2022 is just as busy for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm super ready. It will be amazing because, many clubs will go for top players, for strikers. So I'm sure it will be a super interesting market. Of course, January will be about the opportunities and summer will be so big with top names. And then we'll have the World Cup. So it's going to be an amazing football and transfers here.
Here's a question, Fab. How many cappuccinos do you drink a day, I'm wondering?
I'm not a big fan of cappuccino and of coffee.
You don't like coffee, right? You're not a coffee drinker. That's right.
I prefer Coca-Cola, to be honest. I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola.
Well, I will send you some Inca Cola, and then that will be just as good.
Okay, deal. We have a deal. Let's do it.
All right, let's get going, everybody. And we begin with a player close to everybody's hearts, actually, after, what happened in 2020 when Christian Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest. But luckily and thankfully, he slowly but surely recovered. But he has a mutual consent already exiting Inter Milan due to the fact that he's not allowed a device that can help him. It's not allowed in Serie A, so they have to do a mutual consent. So the future now, let's see what happens with Christian Eriksen at the beginning of 2022. What can you tell us, Fabrizio Romano? Is this the end of Christian Eriksen's career, or is he hoping for another step in his journey?
No, it's not the end. It's not the end, luckily, because, as you mentioned, he has this contract terminated with Inter, and they were forced to this decision. This is something really important to clarify, because Inter always supported Christian Eriksen. I'm told that in the coming weeks, they are planning to have Christian Eriksen in San Siro to have Inter fans celebrating with him that he's still with us, he's still playing football, because the plan for Christian Eriksen, from what I'm told, also speaking with his agent, is to continue playing football. He wants to continue. He wants to play professional football. As you mentioned, he's not allowed in Italy, and this is why he's going to look for different opportunities in different countries. We will see what's next. From what I'm told, I saw a lot of rumors about Ajax, his former club, and of course it would be amazing. But from what I'm told at the moment with Ajax, there is absolutely nothing, and Ajax are not considering Christian as an option. They respect him, of course, they love him, but they're looking for different kind of player in January. I will keep an eye on Odense, because it could be a possibility for Christian Eriksen. We're talking about a different kind of solution, because, of course, it's not as competitive as Ajax, Inter, Tottenham, and these kind of clubs. But maybe it's the best solution to be back in professional football and to take his time and to adapt again to professional football with this new situation for him. So we will see what will be the final choice. It's not been decided yet. He has not an agreement with any club, but he wants to continue. He wants to play professional football, and I think it's a fantastic news, because we still remember how worried we were during the summer with Christian Eriksen, and now we will have very soon Christian back on the pitch.
Absolutely. I think that's the good news in general. No matter where he ends up, we wish him the very best and hope that his career continues. So that, to us, is the most important thing, wherever he goes. All right, let's move on. And let's talk about a club that we have talked a lot about, and rightly so, financially speaking, competitively speaking. But Barcelona, Fabrizio Romano, as we look ahead to January, there's a few movements that have to be made. So I'm going to ask you a few questions regarding a few players that may be going out, maybe coming in, but all about Barcelona, okay? So the first one is obviously for our American audience and their interest, Sergiño Dest. I'm intrigued about Sergiño Dest, Fabrizio Romano. Is he a part of Xavi's plans? Do you think there's a chance he could move, specifically as the club look to reduce the contract wages? What's the latest on Sergiño Dest?
Okay, we have to clarify on Barcelona that they have two different kind of lists, we can say. There is the list of players that they need to sell and they want to sell. Into this list, they have names like Luuk de Jong, like Samuel Umtiti, Filipe Coutinho, Neto could be another player of this list. So they have these players that they are looking for solutions and they want to sell as soon as possible. Sergiño Dest is in a different kind of list, and he's a player that is not untouchable for Barcelona. Last summer, he was untouchable for Ronald Koeman because he wanted to keep him. Barcelona received approaches from AC Milan, from Inter, from Bayern. Many clubs were interested in Sergiño Dest, but Barcelona said no. Now, with Xavi, the situation is a bit different, and he's open to discuss with potential possibilities because from Barcelona, they need money. We know about it. The financial situation is not the best one. So if an important proposal will arrive, Barcelona will be open to discuss and to open talks, but it's not 100% sure that Sergiño Dest will leave the club in January. It depends on the proposal. So we can say that is one of the situations to keep an eye on in January because he's not 100% sure to stay. What I can say on player side in this case is that he would be happy to stay at Barcelona. He wants to fight for his Barcelona opportunity. He was dreaming of this chance when he was playing with Ajax. He wanted Barcelona strongly because also Bayern wanted him and many clubs when he decided to join Barcelona. And now he wants to fight for his place. So let's see if Barca will decide to sell him in January or not. But at the moment, there is still no negotiation. It's just a plan. And we have to see if some club will arrive and pay the right money for Sergiño Dest or if he will stay.
All right, well, let's keep with Barcelona. Let's keep with this theme that you just mentioned. 3 lists, I presume. One of them is players they want to dispose of, right? Luuk de Jong, etc. The second list is players who are not untouchable. They're happy, fine here, but they are willing to listen to offers. That's another list, right? That's Sergiño Dest. And then there's the third list, of course, where it's players that who they themselves want to come in. So let's go to Ferran Torres. As you tweeted on Monday and reported on Monday, what's the latest on him?
First name in the list, priority for Barcelona. They want to sign Ferran Torres. When I'm told on player side, they have an agreement. So Ferran Torres wants to join Barcelona. He's not creating problems with Man City. He's not going to force with Man City because he's happy with Man City and with Guardiola, but he wants to go to Barcelona. So his priority is Barcelona, and Barcelona priority is Ferran Torres. So there is a perfect match between Barca and Ferran. But now they need to find an agreement with Man City. So from what I'm told, 5-year contract is ready for Ferran Torres and Barca, but they need to find an agreement with Man City. They are talking with Man City. They are in negotiation. Barcelona plan is to offer around 50 million euros. The price tag from Man City is around 65 million euros. So there is still a gap between what Man City are asking and what Barcelona are offering. So let's see how the negotiation will end up. It's key to understand what happens in the next few days because they are talking right now, in these days, in these minutes. And so we will see what will be the final decision from Man City and from Barcelona too. But here's the priority. Xavi wants Ferran Torres. The plan B could be Hakim Ziyech from Chelsea because it's normal for top clubs to have different options when you need to sign a player. In January, transfer market in particular is very fast. And so it's very important to have other options ready. And they also had contacts with people close to Hakim Ziyech because he's not always a starter for Chelsea. And so it could be an opportunity, but it's not advanced yet because the priority is and will be Ferran Torres for Barcelona.
Interesting about Ferran Torres. I presume a lot of it has to be personal. You know, he's from Valencia, so obviously he wants to go back to Spain. The other one is obviously, I presume he has a close contact with Luis Enrique, the national team coach, and obviously he's a Barcelona legend. So we will see what happens. But I presume a lot of it is personal there, Fabrizio, as well as, I mean, obviously it's rotational with Pep Guardiola with Man City, but you said he's happy. So I'm intrigued to know why the move. And that's why I go back to him just being back to his culture.
No, your point about being Spanish is super important. It's super important to him. He wants to be back in Spain. He wants to play for Barcelona because it's something he was always dreaming of in his childhood. So he always wanted to be a Barcelona player. And then having Xavi as a manager is something very important because Xavi wants Ferran Torres. He's pushing to have Ferran Torres. He knows about it. The player knows about it. And Xavi is considered a legend also by Ferran Torres himself. So it's something that the player really wants, respecting Man City. But then if at the end they are not able to find an agreement, the player will be respectful with Man City. And okay, there is something worse in life than being Manchester City player. So he's not going to create any problem. But his priority is Barcelona, and Xavi is a key figure in this Barcelona and Ferran Torres story.
The importance of a legendary player as a manager cannot be undervalued. As an Aston Villa fan of Steven Gerrard, I completely concur. Let's stay with Barcelona because Sport reported about Edinson Cavani there, Fabrizio Romano, and maybe him leaving Manchester United and perhaps also an interest of Blaugrana. What do you say?
Yes, with interest, we can say it is true. Also on deadline day last summer, Barcelona were thinking of Cavani, but from Man United it was a no. So it's very important to understand what Man United want to do with Edinson Cavani, what Ralf Rangnick wants to do with Edinson Cavani, because from what I'm told, no decision has been made yet by Manchester United on Cavani's situation. They want to understand, together with Rangnick, board and Rangnick, what is the perfect step on this point. But it's true that Barcelona have an interest in Cavani. The plan for Barcelona, the perfect plan would be to sign a winger like Ferran Torres or potentially Hakim Ziyech as plan B, and the center striker with Cavani that is appreciated because they know that the fee won't be so big. They are not intention to pay money to Manchester United, or not big money. So if Man United will be open to let him leave as free agent in January, because he will be a free agent in the summer, so to anticipate this deal in January and to save his salary, Barcelona would be interested. If it's about paying 15 or 20 million euro, Barcelona are not going to do it. So it's an interest, as they had interest in many different players. Artur Cabral from Basel, Alexis Sanchez, many names in Barcelona lists. So interest, yes, but from what I'm told, is still not at the final stages because it depends on Man United too.
I don't know if it'll happen, but I do like these targets for Barcelona. I like the thinking behind it. So, but I don't know if it'll happen, but I like it. One player who is a Barcelona player who's absolutely lighting it up, a great weekend for him, unsurprisingly, Gavi. And, Barcelona's main priority is not just to get players in, but to keep the young, talented players that they already have. So what's the latest on him and his contract extension?
Yes, they did great on this point with Pedri and with Ansu Fati, because in a different period for the club, they were able to extend their contracts with a 1 billion clause for both players. So it was very good. And our next one has to be Gavi. This is the plan for Barcelona. As you mentioned, he's doing fantastic with Barca. He had another fantastic weekend playing at top level. So he was absolutely super happy with it. Now it's important to understand what will be the final plan about the timing, because they have the new contract in place. It's going to be a 5-year deal with salary increasing season by season. So everything is in place with the proposal. It's about the timing. My feeling is that it's going to end up in maybe the first or second month of 2022. So it's going to take some time. It's not going to be extended in a few hours or in a few days. But they have the new contract proposal ready. It's going to be on the table in the next few days. And as I mentioned, the player wants to stay. And it's very important for Barcelona to be fast, because he has a release clause as of now for 50 million euros. And this is something incredible, because I'm sure that every top club would be prepared to pay, but Barcelona are feeling relaxed because Gavi wants to stay and they are prepared to extend this contract. So it's just a matter of time.
50 million. They better get on it if they want to learn their mistakes. Yes. Messi, my goodness, that is an absolute bargain. You know what's another bargain? Dusan Vlahovic, Fabrizio Romano, unbelievable. And you've heard it here first with Fab at Qué Golazo. This is a kid, 33 goals in one calendar year. That's the most since 1960, passing Cristiano Ronaldo, 21 years old. He's also like a good combination. Have you ever seen the movie American Psycho?
No, I didn't. Okay.
So please Google it. It's a Christian Bale.
Okay.
It's literally Dusan Vlahovic. Like, it's him and Oz from American Pie. That's why I think it is. But Dusan Vlahovic,
he still has one game, eh? He still has one game.
Level with Ronaldo, I believe. Yes, not passing.
Level with Ronaldo, but he has still one game. So maybe your prediction could be good, because he has to play with Verona. So
it's definitely happening. He will pass Cristiano Ronaldo. That's right.
I think too.
But what's the latest on him? Because obviously the latest to what you tweeted was that Fiorentina CEO has said Dusan doesn't really want to stay here, it sounds like.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to extend the contract, because they're offering him the biggest salary in Fiorentina history. And Barone, Fiorentina CEO, confirmed it again. They're proposing him a lot of money. It's more than 5 million euro net per season. That is a huge salary for Fiorentina. We're not talking about Inter, Juventus, or AC Milan. It's Fiorentina, and 5 million euro net is a big proposal. They're offering this money since September, but from Vlahovic's side, they are not intentioned player and agents to accept this proposal. He's out of contract in 2023, so they still have time to find a solution. The feeling is in January, still same position, or any club has to pay 70 million, or Fiorentina are not accepting these proposals. So there is the serious possibility to see Vlahovic staying at Fiorentina in January and then leaving in the summer. So it's going to be an interesting point. I'm sure this Boeing is doing something incredible, because, as you mentioned, he's scoring goals, leadership. He's breaking records and records every single week. But I'm sure that he will be focused also if he will be able to stay at Fiorentina in January to bring Fiorentina back to European football. They are really dreaming of this, and Dusan Vlahovic is able to do this with Fiorentina, and then maybe to leave in the summer, because at the moment there is still no proposal for 70 million in January. But let's see what happens.
Yes, because that's the key. I mean, right now, yeah, fine, I want to help Fiorentina, but what happens if 70 million indeed comes in, and then he's got some serious thinking to do? But regardless, he is an absolute talent. All right, let's finish up here with some American movement. We briefly talked about Sergiño Dest, Fabrizio, but
yes,
another American I'm intrigued by is, and obviously you know well, playing at Juventus, Weston McKennie. There's some murmurs, some rumors about maybe him to the Premier League. Is that even a possibility? What's the latest? And how happy is Max Allegri with Weston McKennie?
Yes, we have a lot of rumors about Leeds this week. We had rumors about Tottenham also in the past week. So many clubs are interested in McKennie, and this is true. But from what I'm told, Juventus' plan is not to sell McKennie in January. Now he's an important player with Juventus. When he's fit, he's always playing with Allegri as a starter in the midfield. So I think it's going to be complicated for any club to sign Weston McKennie, also because Juventus are not accepting loan proposals. Tottenham wanted him on loan because the director of football of Tottenham, Fabio Paratici, was the man who signed him for Juventus from Schalke 1 year and a half ago. So this is why he wanted him at Tottenham, but Juventus said no for a loan proposal. For Leeds, I think it's going to be complicated. They're having a difficult season, and Weston is fighting for important targets with Juventus and also for Champions League. So I think it's not going to change for Leeds. Let's see what happens in January, but my feeling is that at the end, Weston McKennie will stay at Juventus, and then next summer he will make a final decision on his future.
Well, let's conclude with the USMNT corner. Anything on, obviously, these players that we've continued to discuss as January comes around the corner? Bryan Reynolds, Ricardo Pepi, Daryl Dike, any movements with those players?
Yes, for Dike is still the same situation. Many clubs following him, but still no proposal. For Ricardo Pepi, something is going to happen. So with proposals, we still need to wait some days, some weeks, and then we will enter into the race. But many European clubs are interested in Ricardo Pepi, and he wants to move. So this is why there are huge possibilities. For Bryan Reynolds, I want to say again that he's going to leave Roma. Jose Mourinho, again, he's only trusting Rick Karsdorp as right back. He's never giving opportunities to Reynolds. So I think his final decision is to let this boy leave. It's going to be a loan in January. We will see if it will be in Italy or in different countries. But the idea is so clear, and is with Bryan Reynolds to leave Roma in January.
Do you see them all making a move in one way or another? Perhaps that's the high probability.
You mean for Reynolds?
For all three, let's say Ricardo Pepi, you see him moving in January?
Yes, I think there are good chances. He's not 100% sure yet, but he has good chances. For Dike, chances at 50%, not 100%, but 50% yes. For Reynolds, I would say 99.9.
Okay, so Reynolds is definitely the most likely ever since the broken relationship he has with Jose Mourinho. But there is no broken relationship here between myself and Fabrizio Romano on Qué Golazo. Anything else you're working on before we say goodbye, Fab?
I wanted to say about Andrea Onana, because we had an interview of this boy a few days ago about Barcelona, saying that Barcelona is his first option and this kind of things. But as always, guys, don't trust interviews about transfer market. Transfer market is about the news and the behind the scenes, not about the public interviews. And so the truth is that Onana is not going to Barcelona. He's going to join Inter as free agent with a 4-year contract. He's going to sign as free agent in January, but he's going to join the club in June 2022. So everything is in place, and Onana will be a new Inter player.
Great advice. Don't trust player interviews when it comes to their own decision making. Take it always with a pinch of salt. It's always about what happens behind the scenes, and there's no one better behind the scenes than our very own Fabrizio Romano. Fab, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, my friend, as always. See you soon with new episodes, and let me wish again happy holidays this week and in the coming days to our listeners on Qué Golazo.
Absolutely. Make sure to follow us on Qué Golazo Pod on Twitter, youtube.com/Qué Golazo, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave a rating and review. Fabrizio Romano on Twitter and Instagram. LM Echegaray on Twitter. Luis M. Echegaray on Instagram. But this is Qué Golazo. Thank you so much, and have a great beginning to your week.